Well, it's good to be back.
Yes.
And once again, it's on.
It's been a couple of weeks.
It's the Boss.
I know.
Podcast, that is. You know what I'm saying? Got your man Sleeves in the building.
Stop is here.
Hey.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Ty. What up?
You know who he is. I mean, it's the process of elimination.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It
So what's on the
goes
agenda today, Joe?
I mean, world.
Which one to start with?
I mean, so much, man. Like, you had a couple of things, you know what I'm saying? You want to do how we hit the follow up. You want to follow up with my man Jay Small, get him out the way.
Yeah, we
You know what I'm
can.
saying?
I mean,
get him out of here quick, fast.
Look,
I guess I'm at the point where I'm wondering, how much do people even give a shit anymore?
Don't.
Is this really news?
That's why it's going to be 0.5 seconds on Jay Small, because it ain't.
certain people care, but they care for the wrong reasons. It's like something racial.
I see.
You know, because he's a black dude, and whether he lied or not, he got off. He didn't necessarily get off. He never went to court.
Right.
Dropped all the charges. You know what I'm saying? So because their court system is so tied up, I guess they got to put more. They have to focus on more important cases, so to speak. So I guess they didn't consider that case. I don't know. Had too many holes in it. I guess for them to feel like they could get like some kind of they could prosecute it successfully. So.
There's so much more going on.
Like, yeah. I mean, was it Chicago this shit happened?
Yeah.
Right. Somebody getting shot right this second.
Yeah.
Chicago. They worry about this dickhead and fake the.
Paying back overtime, and like, nobody
got hurt over this.
Exactly,
Victim was
man.
crying.
This is just some bullshit.
It's cool if we move on.
So exactly. What's up next, man?
Let's see. On top of that, Jussie Smollet. I think you said.
Well, we could transition since we was talking about ball. I mean, as I do this, we want to say, great careers to my man D Wade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My man Dirk Nowitzki. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Wrapped it up. You know what I'm saying? 2 Hall of Famers, man.
5
You
years
know what I'm
from
saying?
retirement.
Definitely A1 stand-up dudes, man. Games is crazy. And arguably the best at their positions. You know what I mean? They can get in the arguments. Not saying they'll win them, but they can get in that argument. But
it's gonna be the one that win that shit. But yeah,
definitely. I'm just saying. That's all. Shout out to them.
You understand people who think that they are the best at that position, man.
Exactly. So it brings me to actually D Wade had a proud father moment, family moment. His oldest son. Zion, I believe, came out at the Pride Parade.
Not his oldest son.
Not his oldest son?
His oldest son is Zaire.
Zaire.
I think he's in high school.
Okay, so it's the second.
I saw clips of him balling.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, no disrespect. I think
it's Zion. Yeah.
Zion, all right.
Yeah.
But his name is Zion.
Yes.
Yeah. And he came out, and his wife was out there with, the rest of the family. D Wade is going to be there because, I think he had a ball game. He had
11 years old, that right? That's all right? Yeah.
Yes. So, you know what I'm saying? With that, that's, a thorough moment for his family, and shout out to them, you know what I'm saying, for always supporting, of course, saluting their son. But it just
I kind of feel like I need to be the moderator for this, as both of you are fathers to sons.
Yes.
Either one of you can start. Stop. You got this look on your face, so I'm really interested in your opinion.
Let's present it.
No. So,
moderate and present it.
If Zion would be your boy and you guys had this conversation and the result of this conversation was he's trending towards gay, how would you embrace that conversation? Let's say he's the same age as
they essentially are.
Yeah.
Look, if your kids are gay, There's not really anything you can do about it. I was gonna say there's not really much you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about that if that's how they are. Yeah. If it's not just some type of confusion or phase, which it could possibly be. You don't know for sure because they're so young.
Yeah.
They're so young. You don't know what their influences may have been. I don't know. Because you might not have been in their life. Like, you don't really know exactly what could happen. Who knows?
We're not talking variables, brother. I'm talking to you.
I'm just saying. Okay, so if it was me and that happened to me, I mean, if it's my son, I love him. Of course, I got to support him. But I am not all about him being in like a fashion. I guess, okay, this is my thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm not the only person who feels like this. I think there are I think there are homosexual men who feel this way too, right?
That's only on video.
I think there are homosexual men who feel this way too. It's one thing when you're gay, right? Cool, we get that. But there's something else about that overly flamboyant, gay,
Right. The
who's
peacock
more
type of deal.
feminine
Yeah,
than
yeah.
a woman is.
Right.
This has got to all just be for attention. You see what I'm saying? And that's what that's what turns a lot of people off to that. It's like, come on, you're so over the top with it. Why all the flamboyance? You know what I mean? But I mean, to each his own. That's their personality. That's how they want to be. But I think that right there is what rubs people the wrong way, so to speak, because I've worked with men who were gay that I didn't know were gay. Some women told me that they were gay because I guess when they interact with women, the interaction is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So,
Or they were just flat out reveal more.
right, and they would flat out reveal more. I guess
So-
they don't have the same concerns about being maybe judged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that is even a concern for them.
This is what I posed, though. This is what came to my mind. And I actually asked a couple of the homies. And I guess I'll throw this back your way. At 11 years old, could you precisely say you knew what you was liked and what you was into? You know,
That's what I'm saying. Like you could just be like some confusion, or
You know what I'm
you're not
saying?
really,
No, but hold on. But what I'm saying is, no,
think
I'm
so.
asking you a
Yes.
question. Like at 11, did you know? I'm asking you. At 11 years old, did you know you was into women, girls, and ladies, and that's what you was about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
I
can
did.
totally say that. I can, and that's when I looked at it and I was like, you know what? At first I was like, ain't that like but I also in that I'm thinking like I was a kid, I really wasn't concerned about girls. I'm being honest at 11, like that didn't really
sure.
come.
But
like,
you
know,
knew what was cute to you.
Yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Even if you didn't approach
If I had a,
it, you know,
I knew
you're
when
a
I had
kid,
a
you're
crush,
shy.
I knew I had a crush on a
Growing
girl.
up. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
so, yeah.
Now I see. Now I hear that, right? But you're talking about a perspective and answers coming from 3 heterosexual men. You would need to have a homosexual man here and ask him that question, maybe to get their perspective or his
I
perspective.
can remember being a host at the Spaghetti Warehouse and asking a gay bartender when he knew he was gay, and he said 4 years old.
See, I mean,
No, and I can't front. I may not have asked anybody, but just knowing some from the neighborhood, like, it wasn't, like, they may have attempted, like, early, but it was real early. But after that, they knew what it was. Like, and it just was what it was for them. Like,
Seems to
that's
be easily or early. Like one of the shows I watch on the Learning Channel, I might have talked about this before, I Am Jazz. The
yeah.
kid that was born a boy that is now a woman, even got the surgery to
Yeah,
change the
see,
plumbing.
yeah.
The point is, they have videos of her barely walking, saying, I'm a girl, I'm a girl, I'm a girl. Like in dresses and all that type of shit.
Well, see, that my thing is now, if you're
So
barely
we talking
walking-
about how early this shit gets out there. And imagine she's got an older brothers, an older sister. They're all
I still feel
seemingly
like-
heterosexual.
something is off with that. If you're barely walking, you can't make that distinction. You can't say I'm a boy or I'm a girl. You're barely walking. You can't even talk. You know what I mean? So that's what's kind of weird to me. And
18
also,
years later, she got the
Right.
flip surgery.
But that's
though,
what I'm
so
saying. Well,
she stuck to the trend.
so she is 18 now, I guess,
Ah,
right?
yes,
Oh,
she's
okay.
18.
See, I'm just not with kids taking these hormones at those younger ages to stem, I guess, you know, the hormonal changes and
Right, right.
cause changes in their body. You know what I mean? So I'm not with all that because I feel like they're too young and they don't know for sure. So it brings back to the point that I was going to make. Like you said, yeah, you knew you were a heterosexual male and you liked women at a young age. So I was going to say we would need like just for, I guess for the sake of the whole conversation, just to make it seem a little more valid, you would need like a homosexual guy here and have to ask him like, well, did you like girls at some point in time or did you always like men? Because you never know. He might say, you know what, at one point I did like girls, but as I got
But
older.
I think it's always going to be.
It could be that, but I'm saying it could also be this too as well. So you never know, because you might come across a guy who's a heterosexual that might have said that, you know, when I was little, I did like a little boy, or I thought I did. Maybe it was just infatuation at some point, but I'm clearly heterosexual now. I mean, it's possible though, Sleeves. I'm just saying, you got
His
to
face is cute.
You
Said
can't.
what?
No, Scott.
He like what?
Right, discuss. But I'm saying if you're really going to try to, you know, gather that data, you're going to need
I
a
mean,
larger
it's
pool.
the white
I'm not
and the
believing
black
chicks
and,
that's
and,
like
and the
three.
gray in
You
the
can't
middle.
just be us three. You need a
No,
larger
you're
pool
100%
than that, you know what I'm
accurate.
saying?
Yeah, that's 100%
Just
right.
to be try to get some
Yeah.
kind of accuracy, you know, just to, you know, it's just, you know, scientific. But I don't know. You know, I don't know. But yeah, no. So as far as like, if your son wants to come out or your daughter wants to come out, you know what I mean, and they what can you do? You can't. You just got to be there to love them and support them, you know what I mean? And,
what else can you do, right?
right. But
The last thing they need is to get,
but even you
pushback
have
from
to be
that.
even more cautious and more careful and really stress the importance of safe sex with your son because there's a higher incidence of STDs and HIV and homosexual relationships. So you really got to be on top of your boy like that. You know what I mean? Like when your son is heterosexual, your main concern, let's be real, is him getting somebody pregnant.
Right.
Even though you are still concerned about
Sure.
STDs and things of that nature, but your main concern is about him getting somebody pregnant at a really young age in his life, and then making his life that much more difficult because
Right.
now he has to be a father a lot earlier than he's probably ready to become a father. But you got a son who's gay, then that's a whole nother set of things that you really got. You ain't got to worry about him knocking somebody up. Then you know what I mean?
Right. You wouldn't think,
Yeah.
but then God forbid that may not
But then
mean
you
if that
also
happens,
have to worry about.
It's a whole other wrinkle.
But when you have a homosexual
I did a
son,
thing last week, Dad.
you got to teach him about safe sex. You also have to teach him. I don't want to say more so, but there are a lot of older homosexual men that prey on younger homosexual
I
boys.
mean, they're
Take advantage,
older
manipulate them,
men prey on
young girls.
fill in the blank. So yeah.
But it's a thing.
We almost
Really
done with
the thing.
this.
Well, you brought it up. I
You
thought
sure
we was
the
having
fuck
a
did, man.
conversation. Like,
It got
you know
at
what I mean?
you. It got me going now. Once you started talking about the older men praying.
I'm sorry.
done with this.
Look,
Yeah, you brought it up.
No. But then
I
you
know,
brought
I
it up.
understand.
You brought it up, right? And then
These
you
are
said-
all real
wait,
things
wait,
that
wait,
this
wait,
is true.
hold
This is
up.
true
You
fact.
brought it up, and then you say that if it was your son, I can't just sell him short. If this is, I'm thinking this is my son.
Right.
Look, we got to
Thank
watch
you.
out for this.
Yes.
We got to watch out for this.
Right.
We got to watch out for this.
No, you're absolutely
If this was
correct.
somebody else's son I didn't know, I'd probably be like, okay, watch out for this next time.
Yeah, good
But
for
I'm
you.
sorry.
Right,
No, it's real.
That's what I'm
Because I'm saying the breakdown is
like,
real.
that's
Like
what
when
you
you really got
gotta
to, you know
start
what I'm saying?
worrying about.
That's
You
why.
don't want no old men preying on you, manipulating your son, turning your son out like what's the Democratic,
Spacey ass
the Democratic politician over there in California? 2 homosexual black men have turned up dead in his property over.
Can't remember his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Overdosed on meth. They overdosed on
Right.
meth. I think they were.
He ain't even
given-
been charged, I don't think. With
Right.
that.
I can't think of his name. It escapes me right now. But he's a much older man
Right.
and messing with some younger black dudes. You gotta worry about that. Some kind of freaky racial fetish.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You know?
What can you do, man? You can teach
I'm
your
gonna
kids
tell
the
my
best
son,
habits.
I'm gonna come back to Chase at like 15, 16 and say, we're gonna revisit this, man. You sure you still you feel that way? You sure about that, man?
15, 16, my ass. You're going to visit every 6 months, or at least once they get up to like 12, 13
Every day.
And it's that age where you're like, whoa, what's up? How come you
At the
doing
strip
that?
club every day,
She
son.
cute, ain't she, son? Ain't she
Hooters.
cute? Say she cute. Go grab a butt. Go grab a butt.
Hooters every day, B. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, I just can't walk that off. You know what I'm saying? Without saying I tried. Gave it 300%. You know what I'm saying? It's not yours anymore.
Oh, boy.
It's your boy though.
Yeah.
I love him though, man.
Yeah, man. No, that's what's up, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right.
It's like,
All right. Transition out of that one. You know what I'm saying? Backpedal out of
that
that.
take a lot out of you.
Let's switch it up and let's go to the Westeros. How about that? Let's go to the Thrones. All right now.
You don't want to watch yourself?
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I listed it as a topic, right?
Game
Because,
of Thrones season
I seen
premiere.
Shannon Sharp was talking about on Twitter. He was like, I never watched an episode now, so what would be the point of me watching? This is a series finale or season finale?
It's the last season.
So it's a series finale.
Well, it hasn't happened yet. The last season started Sunday, and there's, I believe, 6 episodes to the season.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand people so hyped. It's not even a series finale.
No.
What you
But
mean
anyway.
why you understand why people so hyped, man? What's wrong with you, man? It's the
I'm
fucking
sorry.
Westeros, man. You better
Well,
stop.
listen, the point I made,
We back.
I was tweeting
You know
at him,
what
I
I'm
was saying, I thought of
Shit.
you, right?
Yeah.
The point I made, it was like, look,
Stars.
I felt the same way about The Wire.
Lannisters.
I was like, "What the fuck, I'm gonna watch The Wire now. Like, this is mad episodes in, and I don't give a fuck about this
Yeah,
shit."
oh, good.
Then we was at the crib. I remember we was chilling, and you was watching the series finale of The Wire. And I was in the room chilling with you, watching it. And after it went off, I was like, you know what? This Joe was all right.
Yeah.
Went back, binge watched the entire series. Season 2, I could have skipped.
No, you
couldn't have.
Watched the entire. I
No,
said
we
every
talking
time I
about
tried to
Game of
discuss it,
Thrones
when I
right
talk about
now.
how whack season
Don't
2
go
was of
into
The Wire.
season
It's
two
the
of The
first
Wire.
season.
Season
You don't
2 is
even need
important.
it. No, it's not.
It connects
You
a
can
lot of
bypass
things.
it.
You cannot
can skip over it.
So it's a great enough show that you can watch any singular season and be entertained. However, for the totality of the story, you need to watch and
need the dots.
pay attention to every
dots.
season.
If the first season you see is season 2, yes, you could be entertained. But if you see any other season outside of season 2 and then you watch season 2, you're like, get the fuck out of here. What is this?
Oh, man, it's equally as good, man.
I mean, you got-
Yes, hell yes. So I'm the type. I think season 5 was the worst, but only because it was ended. Like I don't have a worse season, but it certainly isn't 2. Like I don't no.
I mean, for me, the least watch is a Deuce. You know what I'm saying? The dots for me, it is
You was just like
Because it is.
Damn it, man! Can you be consistent for the rest of this show?
that it's
The last
terrible.
30
We
minutes.
flip flopping all
Jesus,
day
man.
today,
Not
man.
that it's terrible.
No,
but
get where I'm going. It's not. I didn't say it was a piece of shit. It's a good season. It's a very good season. I actually liked the season. I used to argue with you about this in the beginning, and then you told me, you was like, no, I really watched that shit. And I really watched that shit, and I was like, yo, this season was pretty dope. But compared to the other seasons, like, that's going to be the last one I watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not watching that one. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to watch the first John. I like the last season. I definitely got to start with the young. You know what I'm saying?
I love them all.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, but I'm not skipping anything. I'm going from start to finish.
Okay, well, you're just a little more of a diehard than I am, I guess.
I could go, you know what I'm saying? But now that I watched the docs a couple times.
Anyway, back to Westeros.
I don't even know what that is.
It's cool, man. We got you on this,
It's
man.
like
I saw
the land that you live in.
I saw part of one episode of Game of Thrones, and it was called like The Wall. They were trying to climb some wall, and it's got like these gauntlets or
Yeah,
something.
like
swinging
the
on
The
it.
wall's not there no more.
Ice
Wall's
dragon
gone.
took that shit down.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, that's my thing.
Not even a regular dragon, a goddamn ice dragon. How do you?
I'm not a big medieval Europe movies. Some I can watch, but for the most part,
But it's not that
It's
bad.
just something about that just turns me
not
on.
that
Yeah, I
And
don't
the
think anybody in this
dragon
room is like a big advocate of those period pieces, but
This is on another level.
yeah, no.
It's the acting, the writing, everything is done so well that you really care about these characters, and you are in tune with
just
this
like
shit
you,
right now.
when me and you
know what
watched
I'm
that
saying?
last episode and Shannon Sharp, like I'm envious of people who get to watch it with like new, fresh eyes. Like you,
I understand. This is how I feel about The Walking Dead.
I'm over the Walking Dead.
See, I'm not. You see,
And see, I'm cool. I never watched that shit. Don't want to watch that shit.
I love
You don't know what you're missing.
No, I do.
bet-
I'd rather be in the
I bet-
Westeros.
I bounced with the
I'd
river.
rather be in the Westeros.
Well, Rick just left.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still all right. You know. What I'm saying?
Wait, it's still all right.
Yeah, I
Or is
haven't-
it
I haven't
equally as
finished
good
watching the rest
as it
of
has
the
been
season.
since he was.
How many
Yeah, it's
times
still
I gotta
good.
see a
It's still
zombie
good.
get fucking killed?
It's
I
still
don't care.
good. Because in the last couple seasons, sometimes Rick was with it, sometimes he wasn't. Sometimes he was in, sometimes he was out.
It's the
You know what I
podcast.
mean?
We go all over.
I mean,
Alright.
I like that the show can evolve that way, and it's a lot like Game of Thrones, whereas Rick was the start of the dude, and
As long as they
like
still got
Cal was where
Michonne, as long as they still got Karen.
Ned Stark was that bull for the first 6-7 episodes until his head flew in the sky, and you know.
I get Game of Thrones. I've heard about like what was it, the Red Wedding? That was supposed to be another really good episode or something like that. I haven't seen it. But go ahead, enjoy.
So, to cap up now, we are here now. It is on. It is finally winter.
I think he did like a semi-medieval speech right there. It is on. Like he was.
Yeah, see, he held down the character
continue,
himself,
continue.
right? Look at him.
I feel as though that I was interrupted to speak upon the legacy that is to be captured by the throne. Who will get it? Will it be a Lannister? Will it be a Stark? Will it be a Greyjoy?
All right, not
Who will we have?
Damn well ain't gonna be no great.
We know it's damn well not going to be an Iron Island. What you got going on with it, child? What you think is going on?
Hold on, because I'm like a Game of Thrones like noob here. So there is one throne that everybody's actually trying to occupy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What's the significance of this throne?
You rule the land,
The whole world, the whole
theoretically,
situation,
everything. It's kind of like the Lion King.
What is it,
all that
7
you
rounds
see
or something?
around you. Yeah, but you're in charge of all 7.
Does the
Exactly,
throne-
that's what I'm saying.
The throne gives some kind of power or something like that.
Well, you can still
The power is
kill whoever
Exactly.
you want, and you rule. You do as you please.
So,
There's nothing magical.
All
about it. That's
all
what you're
other
asking.
kingdoms are sworn some kind of allegiance to whomever sits on the throne.
Correct.
Is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Once
That is established
via war.
Exactly.
There was a time earlier in the show where there was one king, but after he got killed, and his children, children were subsequently killed. It was up in the air in terms of who should be the rightful owner.
Why is it called Game of Thrones? There are several other thrones.
No, so this was kind of explained a little bit in the first season when Cersei and Ned Stark were talking. It's basically the competition for the crown.
Exactly.
It's just no different from a political race or anything else. But
different houses, different families.
It's just that, and she was very for real and prophetic when she said it, you win or you die.
Exactly.
It's like, if you don't get there, somebody else gets there, and they will chop whatever they want off of you to make sure that you don't attempt to go there again. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now there's a halt. That's still going on, but there's a bigger situation going on now. That actually can you would actually like, since I found out you like Walking the Dead. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Ice zombies.
Ice zombies, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The Night King, when they kill folk, he touch them, their eyes go blue, and then they wanted his undead army.
No, yeah.
He can do
Just
shit
cold
to
zombies. Exactly. So that now, he killed the dragon with a big ass spear.
I don't even think anybody else got any giants in their crew no more. I think one boy got killed in that war between the bastards, and now he with them now.
Exactly.
Called the bastards.
Well, it was a war between two factions, and both factions were led by
at that time.
bastard people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, where we are now in this last season, it is winter, meaning the Night King has all the motherfucking cards. He has the Ice Dragon, and he got everybody with him. We say everybody, every fucking body. A wall that's been up for 100 years or however long, that protected people from getting out. They had a whole security thing for that. No, gone. Dragon, Ice Dragon.
Now, mind you, there are still two alive, like other dragons.
Yes.
To win the part. Like it looks like at this point, the war between the living and dead is probably going to begin at the end of the next episode and probably take I don't know how long.
Oh wait, so now it's simply living versus dead is what you're saying.
Well, there's always going to be subplots.
Because it's politics under all this shit that's still going on, but the real big
theory is that all the living have united to fight the dead. However, there are factions among the living that are thinking in their best interest who may not participate and just wait for the shit to unfold and just try to kill off whatever's left.
Now, just real quick, is this Ice King, is he the only person that has the power to touch people and turn them into zombies? Or
it looks that way.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if one of the zombies could turn another person.
No, I don't think so.
Oh. But see, that's what happens in The Walking Dead.
But no, when they bite you though, when they start fucking,
I don't even think he got to touch him.
Yeah.
Because like when all those people died at the edge of that water, he was just there. He just did the Undertaker
some shit like this. Yeah.
And they all got up like.
That was one of, if anything, that's why you need to watch it, because that was one of the most gangster scenes ever in TV. When he was on the edge of the joint and was like, what's up? It was more so like, he looking at Jon Snow like, what's up, bitch?
It was like that scene in American Pimp where you think I'm only 7 deep? Bitches rise. And then he got a whole harem behind him like, nah. Yeah, I ain't coming to feel more slim that way.
So yeah.
Do they break down his origin story, Ice King?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, they break down all the stories.
Is he once human or something?
Yes.
Figured as much.
That's what I'm saying, man. You gotta check it out, man. You know,
it ain't too late.
At all. Like it's definitely worth it. It's not. It pulls you in right. You really start because you see the character, especially now. Like you seen like the young girl Arya go from a little girl to a trained fucking killer. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She's one of the, like top assassins
like,
and whole shit. I mean, this is the 8th season, but they had the break, so you figure it's been what 9-10 years.
Exactly.
And she's probably 20-21 right now. So when they started, she was just a wee thing. But
exactly.
Like, shout out to them. Their bank accounts got to be way different than it was 10 years ago.
Oh shit! Residuals, passive income.
They're gonna be getting paid on that for the rest of their life.
Yeah, you're fucking right, man. So, yeah, man, Thrones.
Well, maybe you should come through and check out the finale and see how that moves you, and then maybe it'll be like The Wire.
Because that shit gonna be about 2 hours. That shit gonna be a movie.
I think it's 80-90 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Like this episode, the first week was the shortest one.
Exactly. The rest of them like 2 hours.
Because there's only 6 left.
Exactly.
And
All of them mini movies.
There have been 12.
Every episode from here on out is a mini movie. Throne shit. You know what I'm saying? I go with House Stark. That is what I would like to see. For the bullshit they have been through all through the seasons.
But
it must be Targaryens now. Because
The last
of Jon
black
Snow.
person got locked in the vault.
Damn, that's it. Nobody else.
You know?
You think of somebody else now?
No. Fuck no.
The chick that's with
Oh yeah.
her.
And the homie. The boy, like, you know what I'm saying? Her dude.
Oh,
be fighting and shit.
Yeah. Grey Worm.
Yeah, Grey Worm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got like an interracial, not interracial, we got like a black couple. We got a little black love in the Thrones mix too. Shout out for them for that shit. Y'all better.
Sound like
you know what I'm saying?
His name Worm.
Grey Worm.
Grey Worm.
Grey Worm.
He ain't no joke though. He'll fuck you up with the spirit.
Worm.
And he's a eunuch.
Yeah.
Oh.
His whole crew is.
Oh.
Yeah.
This whole crew is.
Yeah, his army is called the Unsullied. And they're all
They cut their own dicks.
different. So somebody cut it.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Different type of warrior in canon. This is all I have to live for.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he has a girlfriend, but he has one.
There was a sex scene too.
No, it wasn't. How?
We don't know.
Nature finds a way.
That is all.
Yeah.
Unsullied it grows.
No.
That sounds like bullshit. Yeah. The eunuch had a sex scene.
Yeah. True.
Scissoring. Nonsense.
I'm gonna take
I'm not watching it, man. You guys had me for a little bit. That was really me. I was almost in the boat.
Oh man, then we went to the
I'm off the hook now.
Off the hook.
I'm going.
Damn it.
I'm
Gotta reel
back
him
in the
another
water.
one, Sleeves.
That one, the one that got away.
Oh no, man. You brought me on the wrong tree with that one.
It's just ridiculous now. Dragons, giants. That's one thing. Eunuchs having a sex scene. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
A lot of incest on the show.
Yeah.
Brother messing with his sister. They got 3 kids. Well, they had 3 kids. They're all dead.
Well, it's medieval royalty. I mean, that's
Yeah, it just got revealed the nephew's banging his aunt.
But that's cool. That ain't too bad.
I'm not surprised by that at all.
What's that mean?
It's not too bad. In the world
What's
of the
not
rest
too
of-
bad?
In the world of the rest of the rules, I'd rather be fucking my aunt than fucking my sister.
Like, why are those the only 2 choices?
I mean, that's, we're talking about the world of the Westeros. That's that nasty shit they be on. So if you got a choice, I mean, listen, I'd rather bang my aunt than if I had to bang my motherfucking sister. That's disgusting. Like, you know what I'm saying? My aunt. Yeah, they're both disgusting.
Saying that, like, I don't understand
My
how this is the
mom's
lesser of 2 evils. Right? How is this the
My
lesser of
dad's
2
sister?
evils for him? I don't.
There's no parts in either one of this.
No.
Who's saying they want parts of that shit?
That's how
I'm
the
so.
Poles became the eunuch army.
Like, you're missing the point.
we're not having it.
Nobody says they want parts of
Any
it.
sibling,
Unsubbed.
any
Guess
relative.
what? If you got to, it don't matter. If you got to pick one, which one you doing?
I'm
I'm
not
not
doing
even
either.
answer that question.
You got exactly.
Get out of here.
Listen, man, it's going on in Westeros.
No,
It's going
they
on.
don't.
You got to pick one.
Jamie didn't have to bone his sister. He just
did.
chose to.
He did. He did. That's what happened to him. John didn't think he was gonna fuck his aunt, but he did and fell in love with her.
He didn't
Just
even
happened.
know it was his aunt
You
till
know what I'm
just
saying?
now.
So you did.
They were well aware that they were siblings.
I mean, yeah, that was a little
Anyway.
different. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Always is
Let's
fucking
just
different.
gonna go.
I want to ask you about
I
this
got to go. Man.
because all the candidates are talking about this now. We're trying to get on the bandwagon. How do y'all feel about reparations? You laugh, you snort, you snicker.
Ain't nobody worry about that shit.
Like how? How
There's no way you
How
can do it.
much?
Like, yeah, what you gonna give me?
everybody
$50?
with a percentage of black? Is there a color chart?
And this is why
Like,
conversation.
Yeah, like there's too many
This-
variables, man. Like I'm 1/16 black. Run my bread. I should get as
So-
much as somebody who's got
Well,
direct descendants from the
Are
black
you-
people.
50% black or better.
Are you with it or against it?
I mean, if you 50% or better, then go ahead.
So you with it? You
If y'all
with
gonna cut me,
reparations?
if y'all gonna
You for
cut me
it
a
or
nice
you
check,
against it? You for
they
it
ain't
or
cutting
you
me a
against it?
check, man. Give me some land. Give me my land.
You for it or you against it?
If they give me my 40 acres,
Are you for it or against it? Say I'm for it, I'm against it.
oh, it's whatever, man. I'm not worried about it.
I'm for it. See, same time, we said same time.
Yeah.
I'm for it. I don't see how you can be black and not be for it. It don't make
I'm
no
not
sense.
saying I'm not for it. I just
You
don't.
did. You just said it. Didn't say you was for it.
I'm saying it is what it is. That's not something that I see happening. So it's like whatever. Like,
Well,
you know,
this is the hypothetical. We
but
we
you
don't
gotta-
podcast.
yo,
We can talk about
At
it.
one point in time, there was 3 slaves sitting around a bonfire talking about something. How y'all feel about freedom? And I'm pretty sure there was one slave that was like, I'm for it, but I don't see it happening.
Figure the darkest one being here. No, man.
I don't
What's
see
better
it
than what we got
happening.
here? I'm staying.
I'm about getting my own shit.
Beat us on Tuesday.
I don't want them to give me shit. I'm gonna get my own shit.
Baltimore.
I'm gonna take my
Promised
own
land.
shit, man.
Promise me.
I don't need them to give me shit. I'm gonna take my own.
No, well, look, I'm
it's
for
cool.
it, and I don't care.
Send me that
if it
reparations
comes to
check,
some
though.
That's what I'm saying. So the thing is right now, I don't know if you filed an ADOS movement or anything like that, but the thing is right now, even some of the things that they laid out, which is pretty interesting. You should check it out. I'm not saying that you got to be for them or with them and all their talking points, but it's a good read. You can go check out their website. I think it's ADOS101.com. But they were laying out different things. They were trying to say, like, you have to be able to trace at least one ancestor back to bondage. You have to fill out that you were black or African American on some kind of census form or some type of documentation for at least the past 10 years. This is if reparations is actually passed and it goes out. And I mean, different scholars have done the research. I don't know the names off the top of my head. Don't even get me all that. But the debt owed to black Americans in this country who are descended from chattel slavery, we're talking about, not immigrants who came over in the 60s, 70s, whatever.
Right.
They get their reparation from whatever country they come from. You know what I mean? Like Jamaicans.
Or enslaved in Jamaica.
They get it from the
Yeah.
British or whatever.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Cubans would get it from Spanish. You know what I mean? So that's how that works. And Jamaica, I think, is doing something about that right now. But off topic, back to this topic. We're talking
Right.
about Americans, not Jamaicans. Black Americans, not black Jamaicans. So yeah, I think it is doable.
Economist said what?
Trillions. More than $50 trillion. Right? I know, right? So you say, how can you pay back that much debt? Right? Well, I think.
Saying the white people. What?
Right.
Nigga, please.
But see, I think the thing is that it can be paid out, and it doesn't have to be all paid out at one time in one lump sum of cash.
It can't be. That'll be the new purge.
It can be paid out to families over time. You can set a certain amount of time, maybe 50 years, 100 years, or whatever, because we were slaves for centuries.
Yeah.
So you can still get the cash payment paid over that period of time, and it can come out of tax money, or Britain can pay for it because Britain was the main profiteer from slavery in this country when it first happened. And I also think that it's about the cash payment, but also there's supposed to be things like housing assistance, free college education. I even agree with Patrice O'Neal, the comedian. He was talking about income tax. And he had a joke saying how he feels like black people shouldn't pay income tax because it makes them
And that would never happen.
double slaves. They were already
And that
slaves
would never
once.
fucking happen. That was the realest shit ever. I know exactly what you're talking about. But it would never happen.
I can't say it'll never happen. I know they're
That we
trying to
never
pass.
pay Uncle Sam.
They're trying. I don't know.
Yeah, dog. Come on.
I'm not.
Yeah,
that one
Yeah,
is.
like, come on, bro. Deputy
Yeah,
tax.
I'd love to get.
But what is the whole
tax
tax-free thing
exemption.
exemptions that Native Americans have? Native Americans have a certain tax-free exemption too.
Oh man, they get over it.
So,
I mean, there was
I'm not saying
a
they
heavy
get over
cost,
it,
but
yeah.
I'm thinking.
They just-
I work in health insurance,
Yeah.
so I know that if you're like a documented Native American, if you go to healthcare.gov, in most cases you will have a plan that costs you $0, and your services will cost you $0.
That's another one of the points they made too. They said they want free health
They
care.
get over like fat rats, dog.
Free
Like,
health care.
They don't get over. They fucking deserve it. They the Native Americans here.
no, they were jacked. I'm
Like,
not
you know what I'm
disagreeing
saying?
with that.
Like, fuck,
but-
dog. Like, they
and
got
see-
put off to a reservation. Like, come on,
And
big.
just how passionate you feel about that. That's how I feel about black people.
I mean, I'm
were
black,
snatched
dog.
from some country,
No,
forced into labor
I
here.
understand that. I agree. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I wish they would do some type of shit like that for us. It's the difference. Like, it's something with us being black that they be bullshitting us all the fucking time. Everybody done got some type of situation. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You get what I mean?
That's exactly it.
Every fucking body.
Everybody
So
else except
everybody
us,
but
right?
us, we can't get shit, and we have dealt the brunt of all this shit.
Now it's coming out. Now it's coming out. This is the pain and the raw emotion of talking about it. And he was trying to keep pinned down, bottled up, because he didn't want to come off too black.
Oh,
See?
black,
black. Exactly.
Listen,
See, you hit the nail on the head. Everybody
give
else
us land.
gets something.
Listen,
except for
if you
us.
own your home, pay our crib off. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, like shit like that. If you don't got a crib, get them a piece of land. Fuck it, and that's yours to fuck up or do what you need to do. And that's paid off. And all you gotta do is pay your taxes on it.
And the whole
That's
reparations
it.
discussion.
You fuck up
there
your
is all-
taxes, that's on you. But if they niggas give
Any
you a
type
piece
of program to help you become a homeowner, land
fuck
grant.
college, we don't need college. Give us a piece of land that we can do something. Real estate is always gonna make bread. Give us the opportunity to do
but
that.
I'll take free college
I mean,
too.
you know, they may want to be like a lawyer or a doctor.
You can still do
Go
that.
free.
Your people's got equity from
Basically,
real estate. Done.
I get it, but why not both if we owe trillions?
But
Shit,
see,
why
yeah,
him?
I will listen. I know
Just
the man.
saying.
The man only gonna give you one thing. Come on now, people. The man only gonna give you
We're
one
talking
thing.
in theoreticals now. We ain't got nothing.
Right.
So,
So he gonna give you one fucking thing. He ain't gonna give you. But y'all niggas trying to pile it on. I do fucking know. I've been here forever. The man ain't giving us shit. All right, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You can get something at one. Like we just had this conversation. At one point in time, you didn't have your freedom. At one point in time, you couldn't even read a book.
Right.
At one point in time, you couldn't own property.
Listen, man.
and to his point, there were three of us, and there was the you. Man, how the fuck we look like learning how to read? I see him count, but I'm not gonna be able to do
try
that.
to own a house.
You a banker right now?
You gonna have some money?
Right,
you gonna
right.
have your own money? You gonna own yourself? You gonna have
Listen,
your own freedom? You gonna be able to determine what you do with your own life one day?
Hold on.
Never. Get out.
Get what I'm saying.
There's
Get
a
what I'm
parallel.
saying.
Now, I understand the
There's a
slave
No,
of
no, 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 no. If
1732
you're gonna come
saying
at me
that.
with
I
that
get
shit,
that,
if you're gonna come at me with my rebuttal to that is what we did was we organized and we came together as a unit to say fuck that and create lanes. So we had to get that lane open for us. Basically, we organized for that shit. If we organized for this reparations,
That's what I'm saying. That's a civil war, and that was all about money. That was about the South wanting to secede from the North and be their own entity, because the South was a powerhouse because of all the free labor that they got off of slaves.
of course.
That's what made the West America a
When
Western
niggas got tired of
superpower as it is. And the North was like, hold up, no. If you're not going to break bread with us, then we can't have you be in your own country, and we're not seeing none of the profits. So no, we're going to go to war. As a matter of fact, we're going to free all them slaves, and then you won't have that free labor anymore.
Niggas wasn't having it anyway. Niggas had enough.
Yeah, but they were fighting back this, and I get that, but it
That's all I'm
still,
saying,
it wasn't
brother.
enough. You know what I mean? We didn't have no guns.
No.
There was
We
some
had
slave
each other
revolts,
and we
yeah.
fucking did. That's all I'm saying, dog. So if we go and do it, it still starts with us. Like, yeah, great. It was politics, bigger politics behind this shit.
No,
but
and
it's
you're
the-
right. Once
You know
again,
what I'm saying?
Sleeve, you're right. It starts with us, and you first got to say, hey, I am for reparations. That's the start with us.
I told you, it doesn't matter to me. If we can have it, great. I'm for it. To me, it's not a hater. I'm like,
I wish it did matter to you. I feel like it should matter to you.
what matters to me is getting these motherfuckers how they got us and using them how they can use us and get this wealth how we need to, from the ground up, how we always have done it. Now, if in the process of that, I can be granted some reparations, great. But I'm not going to be worried about that and waiting around for that shit. I'm going to get it the fuck now.
Oh, yeah,
and that's what I'm
nobody's
telling
saying-
everybody to do.
Ain't
Like, you know
nobody
what I'm saying?
saying wait around for it. You can still do your thing right now. But
So that's what I'm
is-
saying. So mentally, like, I'm not even in the thought process of, oh, I could possibly get resurrected. Great, if I could, whatever. I got to get these motherfuckers now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they've been taken from us for too long.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it's all about. All these things that reparations bring to
I'll
you.
have some.
All the things that reparations are trying to give you, or it's paying what's owed to you.
Right.
It's a debt. This is owed to you. You know, it's owed to your grandmother, your great grandfather, you know, your descendants, because, like I said, they couldn't own the land to put a house on, to start a farm, to start that business. Black people got redlined. If you were a black person and you lived in a certain area, the property value in that area was shit just because you were black. So therefore, you can't flip the real estate because it's not worth anything. You know, so you couldn't start a business. They weren't giving you no loans at the bank. We can even get into the Jim Crow era, where it gets even crazy, not even crazier, but you still got a lot of crazy stuff going on. Just the blatant racism. You even got the peonage system, where you could be outside chilling, smoking a cigarette, and get arrested for vagrancy, get sent to prison for a year, 2 years, and during that 2-year time, you get put in the convict leasing program, where the what's the head jailer at the prison called? The warden loans you out as cheap labor, far cheaper than any white man. So all the people who need labor will come get you before they get any white people. And you got to bust your ass working.
That's how the warden got over in Shawshank.
And you get arrested for vagrancy, but you ain't a vagrant. And then you got 2 years and a felony, time taken away from any kind
Once
of.
you're in that, exactly. Once they got you in that
But that's
system.
the thing, they take all these things away from you. So now you're so many centuries behind trying to play catch up. And this money, this free education, which could lead to more money, these business opportunities, which could lead to more money, things that you've been denied before in the past can help you catch back up to be on a level playing field. Now, I'm not saying stop your hustle right now, stifle your hustle and wait for reparations. I'm just saying, when people say, in addition to that, yes, I am all about these reparations as well, because this debt is owed to us and hasn't been paid. It's a debt that's owed.
I'm black, y'all. Blacker.
I'm just saying. Because like you said, they put Japanese people in internment camps, right? They paid them reparations for that. Native Americans, it's terrible. It's a genocide. Wiped them out. This is Pennsylvania. How many Native Americans do you see walking around on the streets? Absolutely none. Crazy, right? Wiped them out. So yes, they are supposed to get reparations. It's a debt that's owed. It's not a handout.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't make right the wrong. You know what I mean? It's just trying to be somewhat decent.
Yeah, no, you guys
trying to make some type of atonement for what you've done. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you need that. So black people from chattel slavery, all the brutality, the lynchings, the beatings, the tar and feathering, the breeding farms, you've seen Roots, the chopping off of.
Because the parallel is what he's saying is that while our forefathers were just
backbreaking labor, sun up to sundown,
their forefathers were like developing banking systems or working towards prosperous.
And even if you didn't own slaves as a white person, you still got to benefit from the economic boom in the community. Because now there are more businesses, more business opportunities for you, more jobs, and as a white person, you get first choice. You get first dibs because they're not hiring no black person, even though you have been a carpenter your entire life. You know what I mean? You get freed as a slave. You've been a carpenter your whole life. They're still going to hire a white man before they hire you simply because you're black. Or if they do hire you, they're not going to pay you the same wage that they pay a white man simply because you're black. Even though he's been a carpenter for 2 years, you've been a carpenter for 30.
Right.
And your skills are on point because
you got your ass whooped
if you didn't do shit wrong.
He just ain't get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah. Big difference.
Exactly. So it's a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? So I'm for it.
We're for it. Podcastbols, pro reparations.
We ain't all got to be on the same page.
No. He said all the right things, just not coming to I don't know.
I don't understand how we butt heads when you saying all the shit. I'm talking about.
Right.
It wasn't a butt heads. It's just that it wasn't like a reparations. Here we go. Like whatever.
I hear that because the topic has come up before. It's been talked about for years. 40 acres and a mule.
Yeah.
Never got the 40 acres. Never got the mule. None of that stuff.
I mean, this is like 1805. Oh, they're telling us free shit again. Just
and niggas just was trying to do their thing, like you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's also
finish picking that cotton. God, shut up with that shit.
Head down, trying to go at it. But no, I feel you. If I can get it, give us ours, man.
Those things out there. Shut up and finish picking that sugar cane. Preparation shit. Finish picking that tobacco.
and leaving out on
that shit. But no, be optimistic, be positive, put that energy out there, man.
Why they don't know?
Put that energy out there. Because people trying to get on board now, your presidential candidates is now trying to get on board because they want that black vote.
Man.
And they're just trying to put HR 40 out there, which just is a plan to study the idea of getting reparations.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Never having a fund or anything to pull from to actually do this.
We can do it because how many trillions of dollars have we spent on the war on terror?
But who in that room is going to pull that? See, I agree with you. Like they can do it. It wouldn't really be nothing to do it. But when you got to sit down in that room with them shiesty motherfuckers around that table, and they say, "I dare you to ask me about that shit." Fuck no. All right, shit.
They wanted to hold that out. Damn.
Walk that the fuck off, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we close out, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, we gotta put our deuces up, man.
Yeah.
For my nigga Nipsey, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Salute to the good brother, man.
Terrible. I mean, to be honest with you, I've only heard victory lap. heard it like once. You know what I mean?
Mailbox money.
I wasn't like a big fan or anything like that. I wasn't a detractor or anything like that. But I think
Same. I didn't even hear
finding out about all the different things that after his death is sad. I find out about it after he died, about all the good things he was doing in the community.
Fucking with him.
You know, it's like, wow, it's terrible. It's a shame. It's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just senseless. Like, man,
Exactly.
this is crazy. It's crazy. Trying to do the right thing, trying to do good.
See,
But
would have shot him had he got him a little reparation dough.
Wouldn't have been in a pinch like that.
That had nothing to do with it.
It has everything
Reparations.
to do with
No, it doesn't.
He wouldn't have been struggling.
Now listen, you can say that with a smirk, a struggle. You could have got that reparations and fucked it up like a lot of people will do. And at the end of the day, hate and jealousy is always hate and jealousy. Evil is fucking evil. It has nothing to do with what the
There's
fuck.
a chance maybe if he had some
No,
bread,
dog,
he wouldn't
don't
have
bring
been as
that.
hard
No,
up
dog,
for
that
it.
ain't no. Your segue means shit on that.
You never know.
It ain't impossible.
It is dog. It is because a devil is a fucking devil. No, dog. There are good people and there are fucked
Didn't
up
you know this,
people.
bull?
You know what I'm saying? Somewhat.
Like, didn't
and he was snitching.
Like a photo together. And
He was in a photo, but he was just a nigga from around the way, and they found out he was snitching and doing all this extra shit, working with the government any fucking way, dog. So he already was on some other shit. So whatever you're talking about as far as a reparation, he still was fucking with the government. So he was already into some shit. He was just a dickhead.
If he had reparations money, he might not have been doing whatever illegal activities he was doing to get caught up with the government.
No, he wouldn't. He would have, because he was an evil fuck. And that's what you can't get. You keep talking about some reparations. Reparations ain't gonna stop somebody from being evil, stop. And that's it. That's it.
I'm not saying it's gonna stop somebody from being evil.
So that's it, dog. That's what came at Nip. Not somebody that needed reparations and was fucked up in their life, so they probably wouldn't have did this. He had a purpose to kill that man. Period. Not because he was fucked up.
So he wasn't fucked up in his life, but he killed this good guy.
Duh. He was fucked up in his life because he was fucked up in his life. Not over bread, because of whatever he had going on mentally and the shit he was on, dog. That's it. Niggas be mentally fucked up. They don't be?
No. I definitely, I agree with you.
So that ain't got to do with, that ain't got nothing to do with the poverty line or me being fucked up.
It does have everything to do with the poverty line.
People are fucked up in the heat and are rich. What are you talking about?
But what he's saying is that suppose he had money and suppose he got help. Like, suppose he used that money, suppose his family, suppose his grandparents got that money, and because his grandparents had it, his parents were better off, and because his parents were better off,
he didn't grow up in poverty.
He didn't grow up in poverty.
And guess what? He didn't grow up in poverty, and he still could have been a hater because he couldn't
He could
rap.
have been a hater, but that don't mean he's a murderer. Like, there's a line between hater and murderer.
And the hater could have brought him to become a fucking murderer. You don't.
It's not impossible, but you make it seem like it's a certainty.
I know, right?
Like Biff stole the book, and now he's a millionaire.
I feel you.
Evil is evil. I don't get that. Shit has nothing to do with it. I'm sorry.
Reparations don't guarantee. Reparations don't guarantee that he wouldn't have killed Nipsey Hussle. It doesn't guarantee that.
What the fuck are you talking about? That has nothing to do with it. Like, it's an evil fuck. That's it. Reparations ain't going to stop him from being evil. That's just my thoughts, bro. That's it.
It's not going to stop.
All right, you know what I'm saying? Charles Manson was evil. Was some more money going to help him? He was an evil fuck. I'm just saying. That's it.
But that's what I'm saying.
The root, man. Like, we're just talking about the root of the evil. Like, if it's
You're
there,
evil, nigga.
it
There's
doesn't
good
have
and
to be
evil.
there. Would you call yourself
You know what I'm
good?
saying? Yes. You're fucking right.
Why are you good? Because you were brought up good. So he was brought
Because
up
I
evil.
choose
That's
love.
what he's saying, dog.
I choose love.
Fuck your choice.
Why?
Your choice is there because of
I
how you
choose
were
love.
raised.
I choose
Why is
love.
it so impossible for you to, like, conceptualize?
Well, what does the
It starts
reparation
from the
have?
root. Like, that's all he's saying. Had he had more, he might have been raised a different way. Why is that so impossible to think?
I understand those sleeves. I get it. I get it, sleeves.
Fuck it.
I get it, sleeves.
Sorry.
I get it, sleeves.
No love on
Evil
this
is
end, dog.
foundational for you. Doesn't matter how much money he had, he would have been evil. I mean, I don't think if
But that same rationale.
I don't think if he was a billionaire, he would have been
jail, dog. Like, oh no, he's going to be a criminal no matter what he does. Let's just
I'm
lock
not
his
saying
ass
nobody. No.
That's how people view it, though. A lot of people say that if you're black, they are inherently
You got to be a criminal. You have no
they're
choice
born
but to be
that way.
Right.
See, you're taking
and
it
keep him away from your women.
You're taking it a different way now, dog. Rehabilitated and all that shit is one thing, dog. You said the original argument came from if this man had got reparations, he might have not been evil. He might have not killed him because he did it.
That's correct.
Yes, and I just feel like no.
Might not.
He just was on
That's
some
it.
shit and he's a fucked
That's
up
part of the
person.
might.
That's it. That's all.
That's all we're saying. That's
Some
part of the
people
mic.
are picked to be that fucked up individual. So
But
that's
Mic.
So I don't know what the mic on that one. Fuck it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the bottom line. That's
all.
all we've been trying to say.
That's all.
I don't know the mic. You were right there. That whole 5 minutes where you're like, no, he's evil. Fuck that. No, it couldn't have happened. You don't know the mic. That's all he's trying to say.
Nah.
That's
Fuck
it.
He's evil. Fuck him. Long live.
You already said you don't know the mic, so I'm
You know what I'm
around.
saying?
Get up the sleeves. I'm feeling the passion tonight. God damn.
I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like the intensity. The fire in his eyes.
Salute to Nips, man. Podcastbols, man. You know what I'm saying? I've had enough, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We gotta give the people what they want, man. That's what they pay to
I
see.
like that. I like that. I like that. Some intensity, some fire, some table banging.
I mean,
Yeah, voices get
killed my
raised.
nigga, man.
Gavel back.
Fuck
I'm
Eric
talking
Holder,
about.
man. Now, what I will say on that note is, though, and I had to get really hip to this and think about this. I feel sorry for what he's done. That is how it's trickling down
The blowback.
to the family
Right.
members. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just fucked up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That part of the game is like, you know, once it go on,
Use a dead
once that hat come off, it's over, man. Like, you
So
know,
didn't he have like a 2-year-old?
listen, man, already they had popped, I think, 2 cousins or something, like the day after he did the shit, and then I think
his cousin, the shooter's cousin.
yeah. And then his younger brother, who probably lived on maybe another side of town, but niggas know he related, committed suicide. He was 17, like the other day. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Your brother killed Nipsey Hussle, and the whole city came out to his funeral. It was in the procession.
You mean the pressing on you already, like the press on the fence? You give them niggas is at, you know what I'm saying? That's a different type of press, man. Like, niggas is at your door, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, this ain't no pop shit. You did it. They know the name, they know the face.
You know what I'm saying? So,
everybody
like,
that's affiliated with that face.
exactly, and that family, like, nigga, it's a press on right now, like, and it's, but, you know what I mean? So that's why, you know, for what it is with him, man, you know, you fucked up, man, you know. Yeah, at the end of the day, you know,
Wow.
it's brought a lot, man. But in that Hussle and his legacy was about, you know, the community, entrepreneurship, brotherhood, bringing up the people and giving back. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you go out, if you ever go out LA, like Marathon, where it's at, it's in the hood, dog. That would be like going down North Philly or like, you know what I'm saying? Like meat on the joint, like right then and there, like one of them little strap malls like that. Like, that's how close he was. And he was there. He would be there for the people to feel and touch him. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy because it was the day he gave his security guard Sunday off. You know what I'm saying? And the security guard retired. He can't even do the shit no more. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? He can't.
I can more than understand.
You know what I'm saying? Understand that shit.
That's the
So
definition of PTSD, right?
to his wife, man, you know what I mean? Lord, like, you know what I'm saying? The legacy, the marathon continues, man. But, you know, it's crazy and all of that, but it's going to bring out, like they said, it's like a whole new, like, unity. Like, you got all the gangs out LA together right now, unified, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been decades for that shit. It's been like that. You know what I'm saying?
Shame it takes a tragedy for something like that to happen.
But that's all he was about too, with that. Like, always trying to bring that shit together. So that's why it's cool, man. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely, man. Long live the hustle, baby.
Right on.
Pop.
And the podcast boss.
All day.
We will see you when we see you.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Always cooking up that convo in the kitchen. The boss. You know what I'm saying?